So, hey, welcome to the Gotta Have Miami podcast. And today I'm here with Roque, who's a good buddy of mine. And also we're going to talk a little football. But first, we're going to make this like our real podcast. We're going to start talking about some real estate. Yep. So what did you want to talk about today, real estate-wise? What was your topic?
Well, thanks for having me, definitely, on this
no worries.
one. I think our real estate topic is definitely rentals and what we're seeing in the rental market today. We're seeing clients, with 30, 40% increases on rent. Yeah. Good, quick little story. I have a client who lives in one of the condo buildings on Brickell. He rented 3 years ago, and essentially the same unit that he's living in today is double what he was paying, 100% increase in what he was paying from 3 years ago. And it's getting hard to find them. Yeah. It's getting really difficult to find them. So definitely I think it's important to make sure that, your clients have their leases in place, have their lease extensions. I think that's it's super important in today's world, because I don't see an end in sight.
No, this is not pretty. We manage 17 units in a building, and we had one unit at 1850, and my guy said, listen, I'm getting 24, 25, let's bring this guy up to at least 2150, and we got 2150. The tenant said fine and dandy. And it's just very difficult out there. And like you said, I don't see an end in sight. Yeah. And as we've talked before in some of these other shows, is make sure that when you are working with clients, make sure they have all their ducks in a row. Right. Make sure they make over $250,000 a year. It's rough out there.
I mean, to live in Brickell, it's getting to that level. I think a 2-bedroom. I showed these clients a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom at the same building. And it was $6,900 to $7,000 a month. Yeah. That's basically a $250,000 salary for somebody to be able to afford, or a combined income of $250 to be able to comfortably afford and be able to still live and enjoy where you're living. Right?
Yeah, the whole thing.
The whole thing, right?
Oh, I was down there the other day. We had to go. We have a new listing coming up on Icon Tower 2. Okay. And their internet went down in the building. Pure chaos. They had everything backed up. They wouldn't allow anybody into the building. So it was like I tried to make the turn in. I had to have my wife drive around the neighborhood for me to go see the unit to take some pictures. So yeah, Brickell Brickell does have some adventures on it. Sorry, that's a separate rant. We just went offline. A couple of other things that we're going to talk about today. Listen, if you ever see Roque on the show, we're going to be talking football. That's just a given. And the most important thing today is you see this beautiful backdrop. This is Biscayne Bay. We're sitting on the deck over in Abattoir in Coconut Grove. And our biggest concern, you're going to see that Roque is actually leaned up against a pylon, and I'm grabbing onto one for dear life, just in case we don't take a step back and fall in the water. And I think it's like 50 degrees outside. Yeah. So it's not like that's why we're in sweater and all that good stuff. So like I mentioned, anytime you see us together, we're talking football, and we're both Miami Dolphin fans. We're all Fin fans. I wish they wouldn't have fired Flores. We'll get into that topic also. But the question is, who's the next guy?
Man,
I know you got some insight.
I thought it was McDaniel, to be honest with you. I thought
the pizza delivery guy.
The pizza delivery guy.
Got it.
I thought it was either Dable after, obviously he got hired by the Giants. Yep. I was a little disappointed because I thought he would be able to put a good staff together and help Tua, considering he knows Tua. Then I saw McDaniel being the front runner until Saturday night, where all of a sudden somebody started throwing the Harbaugh grenades into the waters. And so, to be honest, I think at this point we really need to see somebody with experience. Yeah. Harbaugh went to 3 title games with the 49ers. Did it with 2 quarterbacks that arguably weren't the best quarterbacks. Right. Yeah. One of them being obviously Alex Smith.
Yep, and different styles.
And he did it. And so he was obviously successful at Stanford as well. So I would definitely like to see him. I just think the experience and not doing the same thing over and over for this team is something that I would like to see going forward.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. Also, just because we every time we get a new assistant coach, the new next hire, the new best thing, and we haven't had anybody being an HC that's been down here, I think, since Jimmy Johnson. Yeah. So I think that's really a great play. Once they started to throw his name out there, I thought that was a positive. I was disappointed that we fired Flores. I know that there may have been communication issues, but you can't take away the fact that the guy knows how to win, and he comes from a long line of disciples that are winners.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I don't know if that was true. The thing that you sent me about, he told Greer and Ross, the only consistent thing in the last 20 years is you guys. What do you know about winning?
Yeah, I mean, listen, if he did
it's a great line.
It's a great line, and it's an honest line, right?
But
it'll get you fired, right?
Exactly,
Like, I mean,
exactly.
I get it. He was probably rough around the edges,
Right.
probably not everybody's cup of tea.
Right.
But as you said, I mean, listen, he took us from 1-7 to, you know, contending for the playoffs.
Yep.
But the one thing that I can say that's consistent after seeing such great football over the last few weeks is we're nowhere near being Kansas City, Buffalo, even Cincinnati after what we saw yesterday, the Rams, even the Niners. We're nowhere near those teams.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think that's the bigger issue, and how do you fix that? And I think that you know, a coach like Harbaugh is probably going to be somebody who could probably do that. I know that some people have strong opinions because of how he left the Niners. But you know what? The guy went to Michigan, has done, you know, is building up the program, has done well. You know, if he's getting the itch, might as well go for it.
You know what? Bring him on, and then we'll see what he can do with an offense that we think has a lot of potential, but was really limited. And then we are going to get the answers to the guy.
Yeah, exactly.
But man, you see. Okay, I know we tanked for, you know, Tua, and then you saw Burrow go in, and is Burrow really a great answer? I mean, I think he's going to win the Super Bowl. Personally, I think they have a good chance.
They have a very good chance. Yeah,
I think their defense, the Rams' defense is excellent, but I think this guy has shown some resiliency that is just second to none.
Yeah,
and I think that's one thing. But I want to, you know, man, you pass up on a guy like Herbert, who you had there, big dude.
I mean, but those are the mistakes, right? Like you pass up on Herbert, you pass up, you know, you don't tank correctly, right? Because listen, you never ask your players, hey, be losers, right? What you do is you strip the team. You don't bring a guy like Fitzpatrick into that's you know, he's a solid quarter QB. You know, you put somebody else in there, and then you know, you kind of pave your way to tanking and getting a guy like Burrow. Instead, you win some meaningless games, right? You end one game or 2 games behind, I guess, Cincinnati at that point, and you end up with another quarterback versus ending up with Burrow, who has shown that he is probably the best quarterback.
He is a great talent. I'm going to have to do like a little podcast thing, sir. Just stay right there. Ash, take my phone. Somebody's calling me and driving me nuts. They could be towing our cars. You never know. So this podcast could end a lot faster just because our car has been towed. So yeah, I think let's see what happens. I mean, it's an exciting time to be a Dolphin fan, as always. Even last year it was exciting because you knew that we had an opportunity. And again, as much as I, you know, hate to see Flores leave, I thought he did know how to win. Let's hope that they don't make the same mistakes and just bring in, you know, the recycle, as you called it, the carousel.
The carousel,
and then we don't go. All right, so what's your pick for the Super Bowl?
Oh, definitely Cincinnati. I think Cincinnati is just clicking on all cylinders right now, and they've just got a great team. They are a little bit weak on the O-line, I will say that, and you are going up against probably one of the best, or if not the best NFL player in Aaron Donald. So I can definitely see that it'll be a great game, but I'm just going to give it to Burrow.
Yeah, I think they're destined. You know, it's that just the way that they walked through the playoffs, how they played everybody tough, and they're resilient. They're a resilient team.
Super.
And they just seem to get better and better as the game progresses. I think the adjustments that they made, the defense, the adjustment that he made against Kansas City was super smart. I mean, that's something you rarely see in the NFL. You always hear that these people are making, you know, halftime adjustments, and that's really not the fact. But I think they made a great adjustment on the defense, the way that they started to play and rush. You know, they dropped back 8 and rushed 3 or 4. So I think it was just a brilliant move. I have to go with you. I'm hoping that they do. And I would tell you something, though, that Matt Stratford guy, he has a gun.
He does. I said it when Matt Stafford left. Detroit, I told my buddy, I was like, hey, listen, I go, they're Super Bowl contenders, and he's in the Super Bowl. Kid's good. He was just on the wrong team, unfortunately.
Yeah, he has got a gun on him. I saw him throw some passes in there that were really, really tight. So, all right, well, that's it for the football podcast. Got anything else real estate-wise you want to add on there? Any new listings? Any deals?
I'm hopefully going to put it under contract, but if you have anybody for a condo in the Gables, I do have a 3-bedroom, 3-bath, over 3.5 bath over on Giralda Place, a brand new condo that was just built off of Salcedo and Giralda. We just dropped the price to 2.25. But we are expecting an offer to get, you know, done this week. But just in case, let me know.
It's out there.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, thanks again for joining the podcast, and we're going to be right back with Ashley because she's got some ranting and raving that she needs to do, and then I'm going to check my phone and see if my car was towed. So we'll talk soon. Be good. As always, good to see you guys.